We are live. Incredible greetings, everyone. Incredible, incredible, incredible greetings. Alrighty. It's very early for me. I have to get this done. It's the first thing on my agenda today. So I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride as I attempt to fix this file because it's not going to work in its current state, okay? You're going to see the file that I'm talking about, but let me just share this out because it's an early morning one. The kids are out of school today, so I can actually get up and be online a little bit earlier than I normally would because I'm not actually getting children ready for school. So let's go over here and share this out. Public. All right, so I'm going to, as I type this out, I'm going to say what I'm going to do. That way it kind of fills the airspace and it's not just silence. So it's a couple things that you're going to get to see in this demo, okay? So hold on. Hey, creators and crafters. If you have ever gotten a file request from a client that is not ideal, all is not always lost. For certain files, you can, or recreate them, or I'm going to put and or, because I'm actually doing both. And or search for them online. Oh wait, as you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? Say good morning. If you have ever run into a situation where you felt like the elements that the client gave you was a lost cause and there's nothing that you can do with it, let me know in the chat. All right, so join me as I demo this process in real time for a client order. I will be using Silhouette Studio. In Silhouette Studio, we're using Trace, Offset, Edit Points, Color Fill, Gradient Fill. Let me see, what else am I going to have to use for that? Oh, well, I guess Compound Path. I think that's it. I don't know. I'm going to put Modify Tools and some Modify Tools. Okay. I'm also using Canva. Well, I might not actually use Canva and remove BG. Alrighty. So let's share this, and let's share this to my groups. So bear with me. If you're watching the playback of this, you will have to just jump forward. Once you kind of see my website screen go away, then you know that we're going to jump into the nitty gritty of it all. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a good one. This is in real time. This is for an actual order that I have to do. So these are things that you may face as well. Okay, all shared out. Okay, so let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Stanley. Hello, hello. Good morning, listening while working. We're already at, well, it is 8 o'clock, so I guess a lot of people are already at work. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Thank you for joining. Welcome in. Hey, hey, hey. Not really. I'm learning to say no. Good morning from Chicago. Hello, hello. Going into my home office. Incredible greetings from New Mexico. Ooh. Alrighty. So, like I said, I have to work on an order. I am Shakia Lavelle, also known as Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365, home of the honesty speaking brand of products, Silaholics Anonymous 365 Creative Academy. I am your resident silhouette studio guru, expert, mentor, coach, instructor, professor, whatever you want to call me, because people will say different things. Some people say I'm the dean, not the professor. But I've been using Silhouette Studio for 11 years now. I have been teaching it for 10 years. I break Silhouette Studio down in a way, especially if you take our essentials, because I am a focus on the fundamental first, the foundation, and build on it. And I promise you, you will find success. It will seem hard. It will seem like you're never going to get it, but you have to stay diligent. You have to commit to understanding the fundamentals. Once you go, or I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who will listen to this, who are online, who will listen to the playback, that can raise their hand to this, where it seems like sometimes you're working backwards because you want to be able to do so many things and you feel like you have a great grasp on it for the things that, like, you took a class, you learned a thing, you hyper focused on that, and you know it very well. But the moment that you want to go do something else, or you're trying to figure out something else, it just seems like you don't know anything at that point. Like, you realize, man, it's a lot of stuff I just don't know, because you learn some of these design programs for a particular design. Like, you took, like, oh, okay, I want to learn Photoshop, but you took a memorial designing class, or you took a party favor designing class to learn Photoshop. So all you really, really learned is what they showed you for those particular, like for that particular class, those particular elements, those particular tools and functions. And the rest, you're just, trying to figure out yourself, or watch a YouTube video, or just, make every design that you do, every project that you do, you're trying to apply the things that you learned from that class, but they don't work out. So you start to feel like, man, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. It's not. You just didn't take the time to learn the foundation, the fundamentals. That is one of the things that I focus heavily, 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 heavily on, is you got to set the right foundation. I know it's not the most exciting thing to learn the tools and functions and practice on them and get to know them, but it's what's necessary. It is necessary so that when you go and you get an order like this, it's not an immediate, like, no. You can take a look at the elements that they have sent to you and make a decision on whether or not you are able to. Like, you can kind of even visualize how you're going to go about doing these things. That's how I was able to like write out what I'm going to use, because I'm able to visualize it, because I know the design program and what tool does what needs to be done from a design perspective. Learning a program is different than understanding design perspectives, which is why 2025, one of my main things, I've spent many years showing you guys different creative things. My videos are there. They're timeless. You can go back and watch videos. I just saw what Aquisha just watched a video that we had on chip bags with the open window and how to do that. That's a video from many years. I was like, pandemic, because that was the year that we had my niece's birthday party at Extreme, and that was in 2020. That was the year of the pandemic. That was the last thing that we did before we were on lockdown. So we're now talking 5 years later, and she watched that and was like, it's amazing. Like, she learned from this video 5 years ago. There's nothing more that I can really show on that front. The videos are there, the classes are there, but I really want to focus on helping you guys to understand designing. And I am opening up, just my being willing to show you guys not just silhouette, but it's always going to be the foundation because it's free and there's so much that you can do there, but Photoshop and Canva as well. You guys just have to be willing to get in the rooms and invest in yourself. You keep saying that you want to be better. You want to be able to have this side hustle, this business, but you're not investing in yourself, and you need to do that. It's only so far that YouTube videos and asking questions in groups can take you. What you're going to see here is not something that just happens overnight. You have to understand the tools and functions, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, get into this. Here at our website, we have Sublimation paper, ink, our Sublimation paper, best in the US. I realized I said that. Realized how that kind of went together. 365 degrees, 30 seconds, no butcher paper required. You can use less ink. It's just absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's get into this. The file that I'm going to work with, let me come over here. So my clients, they send it to me. I send it, to myself. Like, this person actually happened to send it to me via text message. And then I had to just send it to myself. So here is the image. However, there's a couple of issues like with the way that it was and how, like, what they want done, right? So part of this order is to have like a small left or right chest, kind of like patch like. So it's not going to be embroidery, but I'll be able to make like a patch. So having it be kind of like squared off isn't really a big issue because we want the square. I mean, yeah, it's going to be like more of like a rounded rectangle, like a pocket design. So that part, not really worried about as far as the background. They also wanted on the back of the shirt as well. Well, if you're going to do something that is a solid print, whether it is DTF, if it's going to be like, let's say Jet Pro 3G, or even the ones that you can cut down. There's like a Subli satin and flock. There's Easy Subli. There is, there's a couple different like brands where basically it's like HTV that you can sublimate and then put on a garment. Or also like glitter HTV, stuff like that, right? If you were to make it where it's a solid print with this whole background, it's not just about it having a box. Having a box really isn't that bad sometimes, because there are some screen print designs that are like a full box, and there's just some design stuff that require it to be a like almost like a solid box or rectangle. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's about the application that you are using. So with the ones that I named, if you make it a solid box, it makes it heavy. it becomes just this like plastic box. But like things like, let's say, certain designs that could be done with not sublimation, screen printing. You do it where it's like half tone and there's like little holes in it. Even like DTG, it can be a little bit softer where there's movement. But if it's just solid, and in a big area, okay, a big area, it's not that great, right? We want to make it where the shirt has, or like the garment has some movement, unless it's something that's really stiff. Maybe you're going to put this on a really thick like hoodie or jacket, jean, like denim, a jean jacket, something where it's not flowy. But when we're talking about shirts, I personally try to avoid using solid edges or really big images that don't have a lot of movement to it. Really, if even something like this, right? This, just the gorilla part of it, if that was like large enough on the back of a shirt, it would give the same effect as it being a square, because that image is solid. There's no movement to it. There are no real breaks to it other than like around the head. Technically, there should be openings here, which would give it a little bit of relief, but the image itself is really bulky and solid. You guys understand that? You understand what I mean by that? Like it just being big and bulky. So you want to be just mindful of it. I wanted for the back to have just the name and the gorilla and not the background, and just kind of use the background part for the patch. Someone put this together for them. So they, as not say crafters, as regular just people, sometimes you want to just be able to do things on your own, right? You want to DIM it, which that's my way of saying it. A lot of people say DIY, I say DIM, do it myself, right? And they're not designers. They're not thinking about the way something really looks. Like that's not their ministry, right? That's not their passion. It's like, okay, they want this, and we just kind of put it there. So they saw this image, and most times they'll find an image that they like. So meaning the background, and okay, I like it, but they're not trying to identify the things within that image that, okay, this is it really work within here. Is there a way for me to remove that spot, right? So Canva makes it really easy now with the what's the thing called? Magic Erase, Magic Grab, and things of that nature. Canva makes that really easy, where you don't have to have Photoshop. Back in the day, trying to do that, like using Clone, and now you have like content aware fill, you would have to have some real design knowledge and skill to be able to do that. The average person who just wants to kind of do this for free, do it their own, like do it themselves, they're not thinking of that. So we end up with situation like this where there's already an element there, and then you have your name. Because I asked, I was like, is there a reason why there's like grills is on there twice, like the spatula that says grill? Oh, that was a part of the background. Well, when they had the background and then put all the other stuff on top of it, they could have used certain programs to get that out, or contacted someone, even if they did the rest, I just need this one little part removed or whatever. But in Canva, you do have to have Pro in order to be able to do that, right? So that was like the first part. I'm like, okay, let's figure out how to get rid of that if you can't find that picture anywhere else. Or we know what we want. Let's look for another image that looks like that. Maybe we can find the original source. The average person, they're not going to, oh, I like this one. It works. It's kind of what I wanted. Cool beans. Let's use it. Who cares about that? It's all right. It still fits with what we're talking about. Let's just leave it there. No. As creators, as crafters, you guys are charging people, especially. So it's okay for them to do that, right? They're DIMing it. They're doing it themselves. It's okay for that because they have no one to blame but themselves. They're not paying out any money. They're doing the work. But you, as someone that is a professional, and if you are taking someone's money for a service, you need to do it professionally and be okay with giving them, like advising them, right? Most people, the client would have sent this to you and it's like, okay, yep, I can do it. And you're going to print it as is. How many people can say that? Put a one in the chat. All right, this is what they wanted. And you would have just gone, printed it as is, no questions asked. Maybe probably would have been too afraid to let the client know that, there's some mistakes on this, right? Like, how many of you guys would not actually do that with your clients? Be honest now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, incredible ones. And yes, please, please, please like, share the video. I'm gonna give out some really, really great information. Y'all like to call them hacks and tips and things like that. This is a video that, like, creators, they want to be on. I don't understand why y'all sleeping on this content. No one's giving you real world how you would handle actual client pictures and information, like how you would do that. Share, 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 share. Okay, incredible morning, incredible morning. That recently happened to me yesterday. They tried to bring me something that someone else had already done for them. I was on my way out. Okay, incredible morning. No way, because there could be something wrong with it, only making things worse for the client. So I wouldn't say no way. Like, there are ways, but when you are, I don't want to say like a master like what you do, but when you're very skilled and you just understand the design process, right? This is understanding the design process and what can be done. And it's not to say that you have to do it for free. I let them know what would be required and what the cost would be if they want this done better, right? They were okay with it. It's like crafters, you get so stuck in thinking that people don't want to pay. You're afraid to go and charge certain things. You're afraid to upcharge. You guys are afraid to charge for designs. You're afraid to charge for the work that you are doing. And sometimes if you just explain to the customer, and like you explain it to them, you provide your fee, they can only say yes or no. If they say yes, hey, you're in a position to make more money. If you know that you can skillfully do it, right? If they say no, then guess what? It's not on you. If you want to still do that order, guess what? You make it, you still made your money from, like, whatever you told them you're going to charge them for the shirts. So it could still be a win-win, or it can be a mega win. It can be a super win, because you're going to get more out of that order. So it's like upselling it. Okay. It's just providing more value. But you guys have to get out of being afraid of that. That's where Creative Lounge comes in at, and Creative Business Program, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. So there are a couple of things that I pointed out to my client. Y'all ready? Actually, let's see. Let's see if you guys can identify, I guess, some of the issues or the issue. Oh, okay. You would not just take it and do it as is. Okay. So if you don't know, over here we teach. I don't do tutorials. I don't do show and tell. If you come on expecting just for someone just to show you something, this is where gaps are left and you can't figure things out when you're on your own, because those platforms, those channels and things like that, they just do tutorials. They do show and tells. I teach. And teaching is making sure that you fully understand. It's call and response to make sure that you guys do have a comprehension of what's going on, what we're looking at. I want you to learn. Okay. I don't want you to just be able to mimic. I want you to learn so that you can apply those same concepts to whatever it is that you're going to do. Okay. So someone says, the spaces, there's white underneath the arms. Okay. So just the white in general. It's not just under the arms. We have some here. It's inside of the fur. like the little hairs inside of here. So wherever it was supposed to be open, like we have these white areas and you don't see the background. Like that stands out really, really bad. Okay. And yep, so there's in here, it's not smooth. Inside the spatula, it's not smooth. And although you guys may not be able to tell around the edges, it is really, 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 really jagged. Really jagged. Okay. And then it was like the grill and then certified. And there is one more major thing with this that is off. What is that? There's one more major thing with this that is off. Who can identify what is off with this image? Well, that's not off. That's just a personal preference. They want the smoke because they're, they do a lot of stuff on like the smoke grills and stuff. So I'm not going to say that that's an issue. Nope, not the smoke, not the color. It's not the smoke. It's not the color. Because that's a personal preference if they want the back. Because there are times like right now, like that smoke background would work, right? I could take that. I can, they have, need to clean up. I can take that and I can put it on a rag. And now they can have customized rags. I can have that smoke background. I can turn that into a label. So it's not that it's a bad thing that it's there, right? We start to think outside of it. Yes, they may come to you for a shirt, but what else do you have to offer? How many of you guys actually upsell when a client contacts you? Are you thinking about the things that you have that will complement what they are ordering to increase your order value, right? So I could offer, which I did, rags. You can do labels. It can be if they have like their own barbecue sauce. I can take this, wrap it, make it and give them stickers to where they can put that on the bottle of their barbecue sauce, especially if they have like two or three different blends of barbecue sauces just to make their life easier. Instead of them writing it with the Sharpie, they can have a sticker or label that goes on it. Doesn't have to be this professional label that's going to be in store, but it can make their life easier where it's already like marked and identified, and it just is something else that just kind of has their information on it. So I'm always thinking about things like that. That's the mind of someone that is in business. As someone who wants to do business, you guys have to get your mind off of just learning the latest crafts and the latest trends. How can you always make money? What can you do to increase the amount of money that you make? Business is about making money. If you are afraid to go after money, you don't need to be in business. Do not call yourself a business if you are afraid to go after money. Okay? Well, that's the whole purpose of it. It's not, the smoke is actually a part of the picture. Their whole thing is, have you ever seen like those really big grills, like the smokers? A bunch of smoke comes from it. So it's not hiding anything. That's actually the smoke coming from the smoker grill. So it's not like that was placed there like you would go in, like how some people go and they have the backgrounds, they put too much smoke and splatters and things like that. That is the actual picture and actual smoke coming from the grill. That's why I said the smoke itself isn't an issue. The words are not aligned. Exactly. Okay. So here it's not properly, it's not okay. So the gorilla is centered on the name, but this really shouldn't be a part of it. So we have this open space here, and then we don't have any space here, right? So there's a way that even if they wanted to use this as is, it could have been a little bit more proportion. the sizing, the layout, the composition of it could have been a little bit better. All right. So these are all the things that I identified, and I expressed this with the customer, right? With the client. And the fact that I did not just take it like, and I actually had concern for what they're going to put out. Like for them, this is a business. So that I go into a different mode when it's for someone's business versus it being just a personal project, like something for a grad or a birthday or Valentine's Day. But when it's something to represent someone's business, like I hyper focus on it because I want them to represent themselves in the best possible way. So I tend to overanalyze, and I really, really look at it and kind of go over with the fine tooth comb, and I will make suggestions. I don't make as many suggestions when it's something that's going to be kind of like a one-time use, things like for a birthday party. Most times stuff is going to get thrown away. I don't really stress over that. But when we're going business to business, it's for somebody else that is trying to monetize, do something, I go over with the fine tooth comb. So these are the things that we are going to basically correct or have to recreate. Okay. I did kind of sort of start on this, and that's why I was like, oh, let me do this live, right? So I'm going to bring this over here. And I'm going to show some things that you can do like in Canva. You do have to have Pro in order to do this step. If I just needed to, like, let's say I did not have access to any of the other things like on here, could not find them, they didn't have them, because that was the first thing I asked. Hey, do you have this without the background? Do you have like just the name? Do you have any of the elements? How did you put it together? They did say Canva, but I also realized very quickly that they had the free version of Canva. If you have Pro, and let's say they did find like this image, I want to see, was this actually a Canva element? Let's see. Maybe that's why, because I had BBG, so the BBQ. Okay, so maybe that one didn't come from here. All right, so what we're going to do is over here under edit, if you guys did not know, Canva has what's called magic erase. You see this little icon here? That means it's a pro. Really, everything under Magic Studio is a pro feature. So we're going to go to magic erase and use the brush. And it's basically going to use AI technology to remove that and replace it with content around it. It's going to use the content around it to fill it in. All right. I'm going to undo that, because sometimes if you do just one part, because I think it was because I included the certified. So I'm going to do just the grill. Sometimes we're trying to work too fast that we don't get our desired results, because you're like, okay, I want to just do it all in one. And sometimes it's going to be better to do it in sections. Okay, that one didn't come out as great. Now, the first time I did this was way better. Okay, that one came out better. And then let me do here. Only so much that I can do. Can't really get in between, but at least it's not like sticking up. And let's see if I can't get a little bit more of that to go away. Okay, a little bit. Again, only so much that I could do like on here. And I could go in and try and move all this stuff out. You also have what's called Magic Grab. So you can click on certain things and like pull it out. It doesn't have the forks and stuff in there, so I would include that. But it's also going to include like this part here. You can use it. So like I said, there are some things that could have been done if the person had like Pro instead of just using Canva for the free version. Canva as the free version can be great for some things. It makes it really easy to do things on the fly, put it together on your phone. But then when you need to correct things, it just doesn't quite like work out, right? So once we got rid of that, I'm not going to worry about the rest. They could have just gone and cropped this down to where it doesn't look like it is proportionately off, okay? So even that can technically instantly make this look a little bit better because it looks like it is properly aligned. But this right here, none of it's going to really work for me. Oh, if we use background remover, so I will use that because some people ask about that, like who didn't like the smoke. You see, you also end up with it looking like this. Not really what we want. I did put this in remove BG, which I thought was here. Hold on. Okay. And when I put it in remove BG, it removed all of the words. It does remove like the inside parts here, but it removed not just the background, it removed the name as well. It kind of saw this as the foreground and got rid of everything else. They did happen to have this one and they sent it to me, like that image. And then this was their original like background. So this was the one they had that was like just advertising it, chicken and ribs, and then they wanted the gorilla in the middle. So that's what I was saying. The actual image itself has smoke and things of that nature. So this is the only one that I couldn't find. And then this one is what's what I'm looking for. This was like, I think from their TikTok or something like that. Like I wish I could find it. So I want it bigger because I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work to get the telephone number or just use a whole new font. I did some searching. Now this is after this was after I kind of went through a couple of different searches. So this was not the first one that came up. I did a couple of them, and this is free image. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to save image as, or I can just copy and paste into Silhouette Studio. So So I'm not going to necessarily go through like all the different searches, but it took me a little bit. I had to really think about like I tried out like a set of keywords. It didn't work. And then basically I ended up with how I found pretty much the exact image is when I put smoking grill and I put background. That is really what brought that up. And there are some other places that kind of have an image that's similar to that. This is a different view of it, I think, because that has a little bit more smoke on it than this one. So it kind of sort of looks the same. Oh, that's chicken on it. No, that's ribs. Is that ribs or chicken? I can't tell. But this is basically that image. Okay. All right. So we have that one. And now I can bring that in and I can layer things on top of it. All right. Let's go into Silhouette Studio. Oh, so I already brought that image in. So it is a square. For the patch that I'm going to make, it's going to be a rounded rectangle. So I'm going to end up losing part of this. If I wanted to enhance, some people don't realize that you actually can enhance images and make things kind of stand out a little bit more using the image effects. And these are free. When you download Silhouette Studio, you have access to these, and these are absolutely free. So I'm going to adjust my gamma to make it a little bit darker. I'm going to up my contrast some on it. So it's just making that stand out a little bit more, which is how it was on the original one. So do we see the difference? Like just a few clicks of the image effects and how the color of the grill, it makes it a little bit darker. That smoke stands out a little bit more. These are all things that you can do. If I wanted to make it where it's not so pronounced, I'm going to take down some of the saturation, but still like really up my contrast on it. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to enhance or change your images in Silhouette Studio, the free version. This is why I push it so much, guys. It's not just the program that's used for the Cameo, for the Cricut, for the Cameo, for the Portrait, for the Curio, for the Mint, for the Alpha. It is a decent design program that you can do a lot with. How many of you guys have never used the image effects function in Silhouette Studio? Put a 2 in the chat if you have never used it before. Put a 3 in the chat if you have dabbled in it a little bit. 4 if I use it all the time. 1, you've never used it. 2, I've noticed it there. I've dibbled and dabbled. 4, I use it all the time. All right, I see some 2s. Hey, just say. So I see some 2s, some 2s. Okay, I have some 3s. So that means I am amongst some folk. Okay, I see a lot of 3s. You're using it all the time. Okay. Now, can I ask for those who use it all the time or maybe dibble and dabble, did you know about it? Do you take it in my classes? Who learned about it from a class of mine or a video of mine? All right, so we got 1 here. Okay, so we can go and enhance like those. So I'm going to just kind of put that off to the side. Now I want to bring in the images from like my downloaded ones. I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to bring this one in over here. What was this one? Oh, that was the gorilla with the background removed. What were these? Okay, that's the original. I don't need. Oh, I want the color on there though. But I did take this into remove BG so that it just removed the background. It removed this part as well. And it left just the, oh wait, is that the one? No, that's this one. Let me bring in the other one. Well, maybe it did leave the bottom part. Let's see here. Okay, no, it did leave the bottom part. So I got to get rid of that. I don't really need this. Which I could have used the original too, but remove BG just makes it easier. She says, I learned it from you with the 101. I learned it from the class and video. Okay. Someone says, okay. All right. Just want to make sure. That means I am teaching y'all something. Okay, good. I'm glad that you guys, once you saw me use it, you have found use for it because they put a 3, which means they are utilizing it all the time. Okay. My classes works, guys. It works. It works. They work. They work. They work. They work. They work. Get into some of these classes. I'm telling you, get into some of these classes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with the basic stuff, which is like trace and detach. So see, now this is a lot cleaner. We don't have the white areas in there. Even if I'm not going to cut this, if I just do a trace and detach on it, like, well, it actually is going to go in these areas. But even if it didn't, like, it wouldn't make a difference because that area is transparent. So I'm going to come up here to trace, select trace area. We're going to put our box around it. And it actually picked up really good around the edges. I'll probably increase the threshold just a tad bit, and then I'm just going to go trace and detach. That gorilla, I'm not going to have to worry about that because it's not connected. So now that instantly, I'm going to move this out of the way. So that's like the background. This I can just simply move out of the way. And now I have the gorilla image, which there's no actual loose pieces to it, by itself. So I'm going to put this off to the side. Okay. Now I want the color from here. I like the color in this better. I just taught this in our Valentine's Day class about making color palettes or color swatches. I do not design without color swatches. Either I'm going to sample a color from a design, or I'm going to make color swatches of the hex codes, like, because I'm going to look at an actual color chart and I'm going to choose color codes from it, and I'm going to create a color swatch, my own color palette from that. I never, ever, ever do like major designs without having a color palette. So we're going to go ahead and make a square here. Why are you defaulted like that? Are you guys learning some good stuff? Who here has seen something, heard something that was new for you, and you learned something new in the time that we have been on so far? And if you have you hit the like button? You like what you saw, but have you hit that like button? Have you tagged a friend? Have you shared this out? Man, I feel like we should have a little bit more. We should have more people in here than this if you guys would just share out the content, okay? This is good stuff, is it not? Okay. So we're going to go over here and I'm going to sample this color. I'm going to do a replicate. Give me a couple of these. I'm going to sample. And here. Okay. I'm just going to add, this doesn't really matter. Like I create a new one or I can just add it to it. I'm just going to add this. I'm sorry. No, I'm going to add it here. Because I know that I'm going to need that for gradient purposes. All right. So we have our image here. We don't have a lot of edit points, so that's pretty good. All right. This area right here. Okay. It's not the greatest at all. Not the greatest. I need to isolate it. We saw that if I try to use remove background, it takes that part away. So it's not just giving me the Bo's barbecue grills. It's not giving me just that part. I need to recreate it. Luckily, Silhouette Studio has trace. So we're going to come back over here to trace, select trace area. I'm going to place my box just in this area. I am going to, okay, I don't want, okay, no, that's fine. Let's see here. I want to just kind of zoom in a little bit. And that middle part is black, so it's picking up on that. I don't really have to adjust my threshold. Me adjusting my threshold isn't going to make it any better. It's going to make it worse. So I'm pretty cool with where it is, and I'm just going to hit trace. Now, because I'm live, I'm gonna have to. I'm kind of upset. I like that I'm doing this for y'all, but I'm kind of upset with myself because now I have to do this the long way. Because there is a simple way to do this, but I do not share it in free live videos. You have to take my class to learn that ultimate hack, that ultimate tip to make this next process so much easier. But unfortunately, I cannot show y'all that here. Okay, so we're going to. I'll move this over here. I'm going to fill this in with color. It does not matter the color. I'm purposely going to choose a different color just to show like it does not matter the color. Okay. And I now need to isolate Bo's Barbecue Grill. So I'm going to go ahead and release Compound Path. That's going to allow me to select the B, the O. I'm going to do it in sets of the words. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcuts, Control E to make it a compound path. Then I can select everything that's in here, make compound path, and I will use my, well, to do that, I'm going to group them together. I want to make sure that I change the color. So I know I have just those things. I'm going to group it together. I'm going to select everything here, hold down Shift, select that, and then hit delete. So I don't need all that other stuff on the screen. I know that some of these areas are jagged. This isn't going to be like the best rendition of it, but it's going to be better than what it was. Like I could go in and like really clean this up, but that ain't the price they agreed to. So we're not doing all that. I'm going to ungroup it and double click so I can simplify and clean this up a little bit. Now, if it was the actual font, it would, of course, look 1,000 times better, but this will still work to where it could be, no one won't know that that's not how the letters were, technically made. So now that we have that, I'm going to put an offset around this. I forgot to, so let me put this here. I do want to go up here. I don't know why that's like that. I didn't realize that was cut off. Okay. So I need to figure out the offset. All right, that's not going to change. I think everything is kind of rounded off. So about 0.085. So now I'm going to move this out of the way and I'll click on these and just hit offset, apply. And I'm going to make that a compound path, fill it in with some color. Oops, see, I did the wrong part. No, I didn't. Okay, it's just kind of off. So I'm going to send that to the back. There we go. And I like to fill in with color so I know like what all I have selected. Drop some hearts in the chat. Drop some peacocks in the chat if you are enjoying this, if you are learning it. The more you guys comment, the more it helps the platform. So I know you're probably just kind of like just locked in, don't have too many questions, but just your engagement. Just let me know that this is helpful. Drop some hearts, drop some chat, and drop some peacocks. I just need to see that interaction in the chat, please. We need some engagement. We need some algorithm boosting comments. So drop some hearts, drop some peacocks in the chats, drop some thumbs up. So yeah, You are very, very welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's just great information. Thank you for these classes. You are welcome. I'm glad you realized they are classes, okay? These are mini classes. Actually, this is not even mini because we're an hour in almost. This is a straight master class. And I'm sharing this with you guys for free. The only thing I'm asking is please, like I'm at this point, I am begging, just like the video. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Leave a comment. It's like, are y'all afraid to let people know that you watch my content? Now, I know it's a couple folk out there that's watching this content. Of course, they don't want folk to know. They just come over here to get some information, then go put on their platform like it's theirs. But for some of you guys who are over here to genuinely learn, I'm starting to feel like y'all are ashamed to be taught by the professor, to let people know that y'all are over here, you're learning because you don't want your name to show up in the comment section. Is that what it is? We are afraid to show that we support the professor? I'm just saying. Okay, so we have that part. I'm going to select here. I already knew that I didn't really care for the colors because of how it was sent. It looks like some of these colors were distorted and like they're muted. So I wanted, that's why I copied it. I'm not looked at it. I'm like, okay, I like the colors better from the gorilla part. Like here, it looks a little muted. But I am going to still sample these colors. So we're going to go here and we're going to sample here. I'm going to do the yellow. And then one of the orangish colors here. So it just looks so muted. Wow, it's like that. Y'all really don't like to tell folk y'all watching me. Wow, we got like out of all the people that are watching, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Wow. Wow. Why do I do this? Why? Why do I do this to myself? I guess I'm showing the wrong kind of content, man. What do I gotta do? I need to give y'all the kidney of my firstborn to get some love? Godly. Okay, so I'm going to make my own gradient. And I'm going to do that by going over to the gradient. I'm going to choose just any one. And I'm going to come down to those colors that I added to the color palette. This first one, I'm going to make the darker color. The last one, I'm going to make the yellowish color. And my middle is probably already in that orangish range, but that kind of pumps it up a little bit. I need to go back here because I forgot to add these to the mix. I do think I want to maybe go a little bit lighter here. Yeah. See, that one color did come in handy. Let me see, I can probably mix in some of those original colors too. Just give it a little bit more. All right, so let's see that one. But I'm also going to just take out. Okay, I think I like that one better though. Okay, so we have 2 options. I'm going to send them to the back. Pull this up here. And I'm going to click on my background, which is the green one. Hold down Shift, click on the gradient, modify and crop. Go ahead and make that a compound path or group it together. No line color. And let's make our Bose grill black. And then let's see how this one looks. They're slightly different. One is just a little bit darker than the other. Okay. So then we have here, and then they sent another picture. I didn't bring that one in with the phone number. No, not that one. That one. Now this may be too small for me to try and trace the phone number. Ooh, yeah, because see that this one isn't the same quality as the other one. So it's a little bit off. Now, they may have gotten that or done that one in Canva, so I probably can find that. But I'm just going to type it out, 786-873-1716. And I don't think it's Rockwell. Which one is it? No, that doesn't give me. I do have a font that kind of has that. I gotta remember which one it is though. I have way too many fonts. If you have any questions, feel free to ask while I go through fonts looking for one that is going to be close to how this is set up. Oh, I know I'm doing great. Oh, I know that. I'm just trying to figure out why other folks don't feel like I'm doing great and not showing no love. Oh, I'm never going to not feel like I don't do great. I know I'm great at what I do, but thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out why I got to beg and plead for a comment or two. Like, damn. If I got to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't. No, I do mine though. But it really does mean that much to me, but I do mind. I'm a little proud to beg. I ain't too proud to beg, y'all. Well, I did not mean to click on that. But it's okay because it made me jump down. I know I have a font that looks like this. I just can't think of what the name is. I know I have a font that looks like this. I just can't think of what the name is. And now I'm down too far. I know it's none of the ones down here. It has to be at the top somewhere. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be down there. Okay, so everything here is below Rockwell. I just got to get back up to Rockwell. But I know I have a font. I have used it before. Or I could always just go to Creative Fabrica because I know that I'll find one there really quick. But then I got to shut it. Actually, I can't do that because then I have to shut everything down and anybody got time for that. Come on. I know I have a font that looks similar to this. No, I cannot. Well, you may have just be joining us, and welcome, Sandy. Cannot, because when we do remove background, it takes the entire thing. It takes all that area out. And if I do a remove background of this one, it's going to consider the gray area of the background, and it's still going to leave all of this. But even if I could, the quality of this particular image is not that great. What the font, so people always say that, right? A lot of times it's going to recommend fonts that you don't have, you don't have, you still have to install them. So if that was the case, I could have just gone to Creative Fabrica. I don't really care about it being like the exact font, but they're just going to recommend a font that most likely I don't have on my system, right? And you have to download it, install it, shut down Solar Studio, all of those things. And I just don't feel like doing that. And sometimes the fonts that they suggest are not free, but I know that I have one. So in this case, that wouldn't save me time to do it that way. Because I know I have a font, I might as well just go through it, because I'm not looking for it to be the exact font. I just know that I have a font that has the little, it comes out on the side, like little spikes on the side. There we go. Maxton. Ooh, not you though. Regular. Now, is it exactly the same? Absolutely not. But it is close enough because it just has like the same style with that. And I could always fix like things like the 8. I don't have to have my line look like this. That's not something that they're married to. It's not like an official like logo type deal. So I could use this and be okay with it. I could go into like Canva. Let's see, where's my Canva screen that I had open? Because it might be over there, because they did do this in Canva. Actually, I care more about how the numbers look. I'm not going to spend too much time looking for it, because I'm okay with the one that I have. I just wanted to see, because they did mention Canva, if it was in fact over here. It's not really retro, not really vintage. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm okay with the one that I have. Oh, I forgot. You know what I forgot to do to duplicate my gradients. Okay, so let's duplicate this. And let's get rid of this, and make a box here and weld. And make a box here and weld. So that I think I'm going to use this gradient though. I needed the gradient for the outline of the phone number. I'm going to ungroup because I don't want these little thingies right here. So delete point, make flat. Actually, theirs did have that. Oh, it was just thinner. Oh, okay. I technically could have left that. Did not realize that. So let's undo. Because that might work, but let's just make it thinner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so for the back, we are now able to do this where and I think I want to just completely round this off since the full legs are not there and I don't feel like looking for a picture to find the original picture. This is where I would go into Photoshop to fix this normally, but I don't wanna. So, and that looks kind of weird too, but it's okay. It's not my fault. That's something I cannot really fix, not trying to spend too much time trying to fix that part. But those legs just kind of going down like that just was not doing it. Wasn't doing it. Just seems off like that. So we're going to force you over here. I know that is center, but you seem a little off right there. So we're going to do you like that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Now, to make the gorilla a little bit more proportional to the size of the name. So I'm going to make a duplicate so you can see the difference. He is too small for that arch. Too small. All right. So we're going to make him bigger. And I can probably even put this here. So this was just the original one. Of course, we don't want to leave that. You want to make it proportional. You want to blow it up. So there's that. So this is the one for the back. And then we're just going to take our image here. And now that is perfectly centered. Okay. And I also want to make him a little bit darker. Just a little bit. Just a tad bit darker. All right. For my patch, I'm going to... Oh. Dang it. Now, I'm going to have to probably redo this. I have a sublimation patch. And it's not in front of me, so I don't remember the exact size it is. I'm just going to make this I definitely know it's not 3x5. It's like what big is that patch? It's definitely not this size. It's not a 3x5. I want to say maybe because this is a 2x3. So let's say 2x4, maybe. Or maybe 2.5. Somewhere in there. I don't remember. I'm just going to use this size for now. I'm going to convert to path. I'm going to proportionally make it larger because then once I shrink it down, I always like to work bigger and then I'll shrink it down. Excuse me. So this needs to fit right here. I'm not putting the phone number on it. And that means you need to be smaller in order to fit. And I want to actually show a little bit of that meat on the side. Let's see. Dang it. I'm not going to really show it. It's okay. Select it. Crop it. And my patch actually has black around it. So we're just going to put some black just to simulate it. And that is how it's going to look when it's on the patch, because the patch has a black outline around it. So it'll be a patch and then it will be the design for the back. And so that's how that's going to be. I mean, with teaching and instructing and pausing and intro and all that stuff, we're at like an hour and 20 minutes. It would have taken me way less time than that if I was not live. So it's not something that would take up a whole lot of time. I want to learn programs and tools. That's why it's so important. If you don't know the system, you got this, you want it to be ambitious and try it your first couple of times, it might take you an hour to do it just to kind of figure everything out. Searching for things and stuff like that, it may take you hour, 2 hours, or what may seem like forever. But I promise you, if you learn fundamentals, if you learn the fundamentals, you'll make the money that you spend on a class back, because you're going to be able to, you're going to have the skills to be able to do things like this and add on to the order. This is not included in the cost of them getting the shirt. This is an additional design fee. It's not the same as me kind of coming up with the concept and recreating it from scratch. I had references. I'm able to go and look for those. So it's a little bit more affordable because there was a starting point, but I still had to make the design where it is optimal for printing and just being able to use it. So there is a fee. I will still give them this because it's a little bit better than the ones that they have. So there is, now if they didn't want it, there's a way for them to save some coins because they won't pay for the release of this graphics, this artwork that I have created. Now, if they wanted the release for it and wanted me to give them the actual files that they can use on anything, there is an additional fee for that. It's not all included. Oh, I created this. Here's the file. No, ma'am, no ham, no Pam. I created so that I can do what I need to do so that my work looks great. But if you wanted to now use it for something else, there is a fee. So I'm charging them for me to recreate it. And then there's a separate fee for me to release this artwork to them. My work does not belong to them. So their name, yes, their image, kind of yes, but my work does not. Just because it is their logo and is their name does not mean that because I created, it's theirs, I should give it to them. Absolutely not. And if that's what you are doing, you need to stop that immediately and charge for it. Okay? Any questions? Because I'm done. Was this not worthy of tagging a friend? Like, yo, you got an accountability partner? Come on over here. This is where you need to be. She is dropping real knowledge. She is trying to help the craft community get what you need to get to do whatever it is. I'm not going to say everybody's not doing this to make money, but some people want to not be, they don't want their hobby and what they're doing as a stress reliever to cause more stress. So come on over, learn how to do this and not be stressed about it. No questions. All right. Cannot say that I did not offer to answer any questions. All classes can be found on either our main website, shop.hsinc365.com, or you can go over to 365 Creative Academy and see what classes are there as well. So once you scroll down, we have our focus blueprint. We have a live session for that, like just orientation, just kind of break down what it is. And I know a lot happened this week. I'm going to make sure this weekend I drop part 3. We just had our Candygram and design class on Wednesday. The playback is up. All playbacks are up. There's some bonus stuff. And I actually have another bonus one that I've won. My microphone was technically muted when I recorded the first video. And then there's another one that I promised that I would make if we reached our goals of number of new enrollees, which we did, which was 20 to do the I think it was like comments to do the tutorial and $50 to drop the visuals. So we have that. That's included. You have Essentials of Silhouette Studio. I'm telling you guys, this right here. We have Sezzle. We have Sezzle. We have on the Academy side, you have Klarna, you have Affirm, you have Afterpay, and we actually have a live session. So it's more of a review, a Q&A. Anyone, if you took this class back in 2022 and you have questions, you will be able to attend that live session. Come in, we're going to go through, review a few things. I'm going to answer some questions. You guys can share your screens if you're struggling with anything. So we will have these kind of like, I call them study hall sessions. So we will have, I'm going to now implement the regular study hall sessions probably once a month or maybe once a quarter or once every 2 months. I haven't decided. I know for sure though, I do have one and I have scheduled for January that I need to actually send out that email, which means I'm probably gonna do one in February as well, since the January email is going to go out so late. But enroll. We have classes for if you want to focus on learning skills and design techniques for memorials, for party decor and favors, from banners and chip bags, Capri Suns and invitations, tags and labels, cutouts. All of that is in that event class. We have classes for foam board. We have classes for text effects. This one is kind of like Essentials, but it's like 14 months. Every single week for 14 months, I was doing a live session. It was like a subscription base. And there's so much learning in there. There is like kind of like the Essentials, but there's also some designs and applying it. That's also great. There is a discount code. It's in the description of this video where you can get, I think it's like 75% off or something. Oh, 75% off or something like that. So click on the link that's in the description and you're going to get a significant, oh, it's actually right here. So 75% off. So you'll pay $140 for it. Just put this code in. Then of course, everything else that's on the website. All right. If we've already purchased the program, do we still have access to the live sessions? Yes. So if I have, so certain programs, I will have live sessions in it. So like, let's say my memorial one, I'm not adding to that one. When I do that one, it's going to be a whole new program because I'm going to just kind of do some more things to it. The event or the party type stuff, that one is going to be a whole program in of itself. The phone board, when like if you're in that one, if you did the lifetime membership for that one, or if you're still doing it monthly, I have some live sessions coming up for that, and you just have access to it. If you've already purchased, or if you're new, you'll get to watch the playbacks plus the new sessions for Essentials of Silhouette Studio. All you have to do is just go to your dashboard. Some of you guys have not looked at this class. You have not gone to your dashboard in weeks, in months. Some of you guys probably years, because some of you guys enrolled back in 2022. So you don't know that you're missing out on, we had a 14-week refresher. We had a 10-week review that everybody that was enrolled in this class, you did not have to pay anything extra to come to those sessions and be a part of those live sessions. Now you get access to all the playbacks. Now I will say, if I'm still on the fence, because technically the information is the same, how the tools work are the same, the screen just looks different. I am still weighing whether or not I'm going to do a new Essentials for version 5. It will not be included in Essentials to Silhouette Studio. It will not be, because that's a totally different version. It will be a new enrollment for that. If I decide to kind of go through this again for those who are really, really brand new and they have the newer version of Silhouette Studio, because this one is taught via version 4. Okay. All right, can you guys at least drop, what were some of your biggest takeaways? I got to know that you learned something today. So what are some of your biggest takeaways from this session? What did you learn today? What was new for you? What stood out for you? What do you want to go and try this weekend? It's a long weekend for some. Monday is a holiday. It's MLK Day. So some of you guys will be off. A lot of time to do, to kind of go and practice and try out some new techniques and new things. What, if you had the extra time, what from here would you like to work on and master? Not to turn down clients just because of what the image looks like, but try to solve the problem. Okay. And it's always good. Like if you have the time, know that if you are trying out your first time, um, it may seem like if you want to charge for it, it may seem like you're doing too much work because again, if you're not quite sure, so it's not just a matter of trying it. Learning the tools that you need to make it easier to try is going to be key because it's going to take you a lot longer, and you may feel like you're not charging enough for it because it's taking you a long time, but you can't charge your customers for your lack of knowledge or experience. And because it took you 3-4 hours where somebody else who's skilled in it, it would take them 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to do it. It's not really fair to the client to be charged more. So be mindful of things like that. When I first was doing these, I was not charging for them. Now I'm at a point, I'm over a decade in. So now I am charging for them. But when I was first starting and I wanted to perfect these skills and I was working on being able to look at something and identify issues and then figure out ways to correct them, I wasn't charging a lot. Sometimes I wasn't charging at all. They would just give me a tip, for doing it. But it was like on the job training for me. I needed that real world experience. It's only so much that you can get like learn from classes that have like they've given you like some perfect images and backgrounds and things like that. Yeah, that works when everything is kind of in line, but it's not too often where you have classes where you're going to have material like this. It's normally real world. Someone sent you something that's crazy looking. Let me at least see. Don't commit to it. Maybe just kind of say, okay, well, I want to see if I can clean this up first, see if we can get, better, but don't really commit to it and let them or say to them that, yes, well, I'm going to clean this up, because then if you can't, then that can make you look bad. Or if they send it to you, just take it upon yourself to clean it up and then show them the result versus, verbally committing to actually doing the work. How to make custom gradients. I had no idea you can create your own. Thank you. You're very welcome. I like the info concerning not giving them the file. What discount code? Wait, what is a discount code for Canva? What do you mean for Canva? I'm not sure what you're asking. Never thought to put a design over a picture for the background. Really? Don't be like me. Remember the grass shirt with the pics they wanted? Oh, yeah. What discount for what Canva class? Now, if you are referring to the code, like if you're are you referring to the Creative Lounge discount? Is that the discount you're referring to? That gives you access, or that gives you discounts on all of the classes? Well, no, you can't be asking that because the Canva 101 was included in Creative Lounge. So if you have the Creative Lounge membership, the Canva class, well, that one's phone board. Where is Canva? Or let's just go to classes and playbacks. So you don't need to purchase this. It's included. This was actually one of our Creative Lounge sessions, and I allowed others to attend the session a la carte. So you do not go, if you go and pay for it, I'm not refunding you. Like, I'm not going through that process. It is included in Creative Lounge. That also means, are you guys going through your Creative Lounge content? Make sure that you are going through your content and seeing what is there. But this is included in Creative Lounge. This was a session that we had in November, December, somewhere in there. I like the new setup with the automatic discount code included with the links. Yeah. Well, it's always been that way. It's just that the your discounts for the products did not take effect yet. But it was always, you could click on that link to, because I had the link there that you click on that gave you the 50% off of all classes. That's always been the case. It's just that now all of the discounts have been activated for you guys. No one else had any takeaways from the class. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.